Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. Welcome to this episode of Am I the Asshole? Our first one is from Kaleidoscope Front 939. Am I the asshole for telling a woman to charge a guy more at a yard sale? I was shopping around our city's yard sales yesterday and stopped to look through some clothes. While I was looking, a guy walked up and asked the old lady running the sale if she had anything golf related. My ears perked up because I've just recently gotten into golf. The lady said she had her late husband's clubs, but didn't know what they would be worth, so she dragged them out to show the guy. It was obvious the guy knew golf by the way he took a couple practice swings, and you could tell by his car and clothing he appeared to be well off. As he looked around the bag, the lady was telling him that her husband had just passed, and she didn't know if the clubs were worth anything. He said they weren't that great, and offered $200 for everything. She seemed hesitant and said she didn't know, and he just kind of talked over her and said, "Here, I'll go grab the money," and walked towards his car. I walked over to see what was in the bag, and for anyone who knows golf, I'll throw this out there. Almost new GT3 driver and 3 wood, gently used Mizuno irons. Nice Titleist wedges, a very nice looking Scotty putter, great condition Titleist card bag. This stuff combined would be a steal at $1,000. Obviously, this lady's late husband had spent a good penny on the clubs, and I felt bad for her, so I told her she should pass on that guy's offer and have someone at the local courses pro shop help her price the stuff out to sell if she wanted. She seemed totally shocked when I told her that the driver and 3 wood were probably worth $800 alone. When the guy came back, he was glaring at me, and when he tried to hand the lady the cash, she said no thanks and that she was going to get the stuff appraised. He got upset and told her she can't back out of a deal, so I chimed in that they didn't really make a deal. He got pissed off at me and told me I needed to mind my business. The lady then told him she wasn't interested again and to please leave. He walked to the end of the driveway and just stood there, angry, like my toddler would. Before he walked away, he called me an asshole and stomped off. The whole thing was more funny than anything to me. I was telling this story to my coworkers today and they were all dogging on me, saying that I should have kept my mouth shut and let the guy get a good deal. But it felt wrong letting him rip her off. So am I the asshole here? You're definitely not the asshole because right off the bat, the guy was telling the old lady that the things weren't worth anything, just so he could rip her off. So honestly, lack of character. I wouldn't be surprised if he ripped off an old person for the car and the clothes he had as well. This next one is by Jack U. Sarai. Am I the asshole for not answering the door when my ex's mom showed up at my apartment unannounced? This happened a couple of years ago, but I was talking about crazy mother-in-law stories with a friend, and she thinks I'm the asshole. I have sole custody of my children. My ex and his family live about a 9-hour drive from me. One day around 9 a.m., there was knocking on my bedroom window. I peeked through the bottom of the blinds and just see a woman's sneakers, so I peek higher and make eye contact with my ex's mom. All I can think is, what the fuck? The apartments where I live are not gated, so anybody can drive onto the property, just not go in buildings without a key. Which means ex's mom couldn't knock on my door because she couldn't enter my building. Anyway, now that she's seen me, I change and go see why she's there. Only reason why she has my address is because a few months back, she asked to mail me some stuff for the kids, and I dumbly gave her my address. She tells me that she was in the neighborhood. I asked her why she didn't call before arriving, and she said it was a last-minute decision. I let her in, and she sees the kids for a bit. When she leaves, I tell her next time she needs to give me a heads up before arriving, and I'm not talking 10 minutes before. I need at least 1 week notice. So this is where I might be the asshole. About 4 months later, she pulls this stunt again. When I hear the tapping on my window, I know exactly who it is. I don't bother looking out the window. She starts calling me. After the 5th call, I answer. She tells me to open up because she wants to see the kids. I'm like, what? I'm not even home. Why didn't she tell me she was coming? I'm 45 minutes away visiting my dad with the kids. She demands the dad's address. I refuse to give it to her. I tell her I have no idea when I'll be home. Yes, complete lie. Anyway, she doesn't believe me. She thinks I'm home. Again, says it was a last-minute decision. I hang up on her. I'm getting texts from X demanding I let his mom see the kids. I tell him what I told her. I'm not home. Imagine to my surprise when I hear the police banging on my door a few minutes later. I don't answer. I get a call from a random number. The police officer. He's there to perform a wellness check because X's mom hasn't heard from me in 3 days, and she's extremely worried. Also, according to him, it is illegal to not answer the door when a police officer knocks. I tell him she is lying. I just spoke to her on the phone. She showed up unannounced. I made it clear to her not to do that, and I'm out with family, and I don't need to come back just because she showed up unannounced. She's X's mom, and I don't have to talk to her. After that phone call, I get a text from X calling me an asshole, and how hard would it have been to let his mom see the kids when she drove all the way there just to see them? I want to make it clear, I don't mind her visiting. I don't mind her being around the kids, but I can't stand her showing up unannounced and demanding to see my kids like that. It was like she was on a weird power trip. Nobody can be an asshole for wanting their space respected and not wanting people to just randomly show up and expect things from them, like in this case, the mother-in-law expecting visitation time with the kids. And our final one is from AITA Useless Dad. Am I the asshole for calling my friend's husband a useless piece of shit? My best friend and her husband have 4 kids, 8 female, 6 female, 4 female, and 3 female. My friend's husband is a great dad when someone is there to help. When he's alone with all 4 kids, he gets overwhelmed and freezes. A few weeks ago, my friend was sick, so I brought over dinner. We thought it was just a bad cold. When we were eating, my friend went to the bathroom and the 3-year-old followed her. 3-year-old came running out, saying her mom was throwing up. All of the kids ran to the bathroom, followed by me and my friend's husband. I helped her clean up while her husband went to get the nausea medication and a thermometer. When he came back, I asked him to get the kids out of the bathroom so she could have some space. After we got the kids out, I took her temp and it came back almost 104. So I went out to get her some Tylenol and water. I get back and all the kids are in the bathroom again because their dad can't keep them away from the bathroom for 2 minutes. I give her the Tylenol and water and she almost immediately starts to vomit again, then passes out. Her husband just stood there while I was trying to get her into recovery position, get the kids away from her, and call 911. I managed to get all of them out of the bathroom and her husband is coming back every 20 seconds asking if I can call their nanny to help with the kids, if I can go to the hospital with her. Did I start the dishwasher, or does he need to hand wash the youngest's sippy cup, etc.? When my friend regained consciousness, he even started asking her how to do bedtime for the little ones. Did she wash their pajamas yet? Did they get screen time that day, or can he put on a movie? I told him his wife couldn't hold his hand right now, and he just had to figure it out. He told me he's usually not the one that deals with this, and he's trying his best. Then goes back to asking what stories the kids like, what setting does he put the sound machine on, and how do they like their milk. I just snapped and told him to figure it out on his own and called him a useless piece of shit. It's been nearly a month and he still acts all pissy when I stop by the house. My friend says he'll get over it, but my boyfriend thinks I was unnecessarily rude and he was trying his best. Am I the asshole for calling him a useless piece of shit when he couldn't handle his own kids while his wife was experiencing a medical emergency? Definitely not the asshole. If you literally have a child that's 8 years old and you haven't figured out how to handle your children in general by then, you're a fucking useless piece of shit. And I stand by that. Having more kids doesn't equate to becoming a better parent. Learning how to properly parent is what makes one a better parent. I definitely feel bad for OP's best friend because it seems like she probably wears the pants in the entire relationship. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Am I the Asshole? If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.